Going live or what?
Oh, there we go.
There we
Look
go.
at
All right,
that.
everybody. Welcome to the Lane and Steven show.
Howdy, howdy.
Now we wanted to riff a little bit today with everyone, and when we talk about riff, it's interesting because a lot of these things we discuss in public to create accountability and to sort of dissect and extract what it is that's in our minds, and it helps us to do it publicly because then it gives us it makes us sort of, forces ourselves to be 100% brutally open with each other. And that's great because now we can use it in future books and programs and things like that. But today, we really wanted to talk about something that was close to our hearts. As you know, we have the Humble Alpha Paradigm Upgrade Advisory Program, both in group and one-on-ones, which is quite successful. We haven't had a website until now, humblealpha.com. Check it out. And still we're doing well with it. So there's a lot of people out there that are seeking, sort of extraction of their greatness and what we talk about in Humble Alpha's advisory program. But today we want to talk about what you actually get out of it, because we had someone join who said, I don't know what I'm going to get out of it, but I know I have to do it. So we wanted to have a little bit of clarity on that.
Yeah, I think the coolest thing is that knowing within themselves to take the next step, to take, to go into the unknown was so strong that they even logically didn't know what they were going to get out of it. And so we were like, okay, so there's a bridge to gap here. And I know there's a lot of people interested and a lot of people that may never even, this might be the first time they're hearing about it.
Yep.
But this is we would be doing a disservice if we told you like exactly bullet point what you would get out of something like this, because it's, the essence of this program is to bring out your originality, to bring out your true, most authentic self that you may not have expressed in a long time or maybe never, and we're going that deep. We're shedding all the shoulds in life, all the, BS goals that you think you might want that might lead you to somewhere that you think you might need or might where you want to be. But we remove all that stuff and we bring your true authenticity, your true originality.
Yeah. And, people say, yeah, okay, authentic, real, original, all these kind of things. And the issue with that is when you start out and let's say you want to change something and you say, well, I need to find myself to be different. And that's not being original, right? Being different isn't original. Being different than what you are now, it's not being original. And too often people go out and look for things that are working and then you try to be that person. Example may be the big trend about a year or two ago with guys with a long beard, plaid shirt, ball cap sort of look. Then you could go anywhere in America and see these same kind of people all over the place. And that's because they felt justified, or what's the words, sort of confirmed that, yeah, okay, this is a cool look for me and I can carry this. And I was surprised. I met a few of those guys at some retreats and things, and they ended up being completely different than the way they looked. Like these guys look cool and, and tough and
hip. Yeah.
And and hip. And this guy was like a total, sort of opposite, put it that way, and rude and arrogant. I was like, well, that doesn't sort of match with the ideal of what people say these people are like. So that's the biggest issue, is like, how do you find out how to grab it out of yourself? How do you pull out of yourself? And most people don't even know that they can extract it from themselves, and that's the only way to be original and be authentic and be your true self, because nobody does you better than you, right? I mean, think about it. If there's one thing that you want to be in this life, it should be you and nothing else. But how do you uncover that? That's what we get into in Humble Alpha Paradigm Upgrade Advisory Program.
Yeah, and if you want to blaze your own trail, how do you do that? Do you have the confidence to go into the jungle, into the thick of it, or do you want to go have some guides help you, extract that greatness within that you can't define yourself, that you may only in the shower you might have those true honest thoughts, but as soon as you step out of the shower, all the insecurities, all the doubt, self-doubt, creeps back in, and you're like, oh, that was just an idea. What we do is we create that space to say, hey, no, that greatness that within you, that's that small, maybe faint voice right now that says, hey, this is the direction that I think we should take. And the more, that we create the space, the more we extract and then be able to take imperfect action towards that inner knowing, that intuition.
Yeah, and it takes I mean, even for Lane and myself, when we're constantly working on extracting that originality, let's say the authenticity. And I even hate using those words because they're so burned out. It's like hustle and grind. But if you don't have a partner like Lane and I have each other to bounce off of each other, and still I have coaches and mentors and things that I still bounce things off of as well, because you want to get people who are authentic and original in their own way, to work with you or to talk to you or sort of bounce things off of them, because you're ever changing. Your identity is ever changing. Your purpose is ever changing. Your vision is ever changing. Not every day, but as you go through time. And just if I look at Lane and myself over the last 3 years, the changes that we've gone through, if we weren't keeping up to date with who we are and what our actual meaning is inside of us and what actually gives us that fuel in life and our purpose, then we would be on another track. And so it's key that we're always focused on what it is that's inside of us and what's changing, what's happening, and how can we implement that, deploy that to the best of our ability in order to have the most impact in the world, and an ROI, of course, on what we're impacting.
Yeah, and we've gone through it ourselves, and we're still going through it.
Yeah.
Paving your own path is extremely difficult, and it takes a lot of courage in order for you to continuously take steps when you're like, I don't know if this is the right move from the outside perspective, but I know it from the inside perspective, this is the right way to go. And there's so many things that Stephen and I have done that I'm sure a lot of people have questioned or say, oh, I wonder what that's all about, and that's okay. That's the nature of it. But internally we knew this is the step I need to take, and we're going to take it no matter what,
Yep.
So going through that journey of stepping into the unknown, stepping into something that internally that's the route that you want to go, but externally there's no logical, reasoning behind it. You're like, oh, that's a completely different pivot than your business, your experience, or this or that. When internally, like based on my personal experience, based on my knowing of myself, based on my capacity, and way the energy that I'm moving forward, I know I could do this. There's so many things that Stephen and I have done in life that's like, there's no logical reason why this should have worked, but we knew, and we move forward, and then it just happened. And, to bring that out of somebody else, is a beautiful, really beautiful thing.
Yeah, and that's what we do, and it's funny because people say, what's your structure of your program? What are the steps and this, that, and the other, 12-step program or whatever it is you want to call it. Well, we meet each participant where they are. We have a general overview of what we do, but we meet you where you are in order to extract, because if you're at a different place than where we want to start, then what's the point of starting where we start, right? So, and we work, it's very small adjustments. We're not trying to change who you are. We're trying to uncover who you really are, and get you to stop trying to be somebody else. Basically, that's what we're doing. And we'll uncover who you are, extract that, allow you to unleash it, and embrace the full power that's actually within you. And it sounds all nice and cool and it's exciting and everything, but it really is. Get past the verbiage. If there was a way that Lane and I could market this through the impact that we have, we wouldn't be able to save ourselves. But it's so different for everybody and so intangible, that the words just don't do it justice. I mean, there's so much of an impact there. I mean, if I tell you that in 3 months, someone changed their lives, relationships better, almost like they're newlyweds again, business best business month in their life, personal issues completely gone, working much less, making more money in 3 months. How do you put that into marketing words? Just make more money, have a better relationship. It doesn't do it justice. It does not do it justice. And so we want to come on and just talk about it. There's some of us right now, for instance, Unit is on. She's watching. She's in a group program from the UK, looking pretty cool. I'm glad to have her with us. She's an amazing woman. Don't listen to anyone who hasn't done a great journey for themselves first. That's what Unit just wrote, and exactly right. And that's, we can get into choosing a coach, choosing a mentor, or whatever. But in the end, it's about you, isn't it? It's about you. Are you comfortable? Can you deal with these people? Do you feel like you're being catered to, or do you feel like you're following a cookie cutter system? Because cookie cutter systems can work a little bit, but they're not going to bring you to the best version of yourself, the greatest version of yourself, the most authentic version of yourself, and that's what we do.
Yeah. So I think that's what we wanted to say today. We could talk about this subject for much longer, but that's the energy behind what we're saying. It's very powerful. What we're doing is very powerful. The words don't do it justice, but here we are. We have to communicate somehow. So
yeah,
but
exactly.
we're very excited for anybody that's interested in joining the program, you should contact our partner Marcus at humblealpha.com, MACUS or MARCUS at humblealpha.com. So very excited. He'll respond and let you know what more information, and actually it's a beautiful process what Marcus helps you go through too as well. So it's really
cool. That in itself is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pop here in the banner a website, or actually no, I can probably do it on the page itself. I want to pop here on my page in the comments. If you're watching on the other page, you got to go to my page, Stephen Kuhn Official, and you'll see our new website, humblealpha.com. And there's a part on there with testimonials from a few I think 4 testimonials of clients that have gone through. Boom. There we go. Advisory program. And that'll show you a few videos you can watch to see in their own words what it means. Thank you, Ionit. She says, your being makes it justice. You guys are amazing. Thank you very much. You're amazing as well. We're so blessed to have you with us. Such a great, strong vibe that you emit. I love it. All right. So, it's a little bit choppy, I think, today, because again, we're articulating this for the first time, trying to get it out there, and we're just being transparent. Our book writes itself as it goes. Our second book, our third book, our fourth book, they're being written as we speak right now, literally because we're speaking. Because of the feedback that you give and the feedback we give upon that feedback, we're constantly articulating the new path. And like Lane said, we're cutting through the jungle right now with you. So our clients, we're cutting through,
Yeah.
And so, big old machete chopping down them bushes.
Well, I think just to add to that, just real quick, this is the approach in which we do life, so there's a process of writing a book to where we could go, we could have a month-long session of like pouring out our most like deepest thoughts and like being really kind of frustrated, or like, you've heard of people like writing a book is the hardest thing that they did in the world, in their life, right? We're choosing a different approach to life and a different approach to extracting, articulation of how we lived and how to put it into, words and concepts and principles. And so this is our approach. So that way it's not hard. Literally, it's us just tapping into the moment, saying what we need to say. And then over a period of time, we're going to have all the content that we need. How cool is that? That's our approach to life, or at least for this particular aspect of our life. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, we receive a lot. We receive a lot more than we go out and grab.
Yeah.
Because we focus on the intention. As anyone who's read the book, everyone knows you focus on the intention, not the outcome. When we focus on the intention, things happen that we never would have intended in the first place, but they're aligned with where we want to go. And that's the great thing about it. And that's why we say when you focus on the outcome, you're literally limiting your possibilities, because you can't think of anything and everything that could happen. Just like us. With our book that turned into a college course for Forbes Business School, is turning into a UK course, is turning into an executive MBA course for the Far East and Middle East. We never in a million years would have thought about that. And if we would have focused on the outcome, laser focused on one thing with blinders on, then we may have gotten there, but we would have missed everything else. And so these are all just small, little, subtle shifts that we help you go through. And like we always say, if you're flying from New York to LA and you just do 1 degree change in New York, you're going to end up in Hawaii by the time you get there, right? And that's sort of what we do. We don't need to change who you are and completely revamp your entire attitude and your mindset and rewire your brain and all this kind of stuff, right? Just looking at consciously who you are, uncovering that, finding out, and go, oh, you know what? I just did the work, and I'm the powerful connector. That's my 2-word moniker. That's freaking awesome. How can I use that to my advantage now? How can I use that to the advantage of all around me, have a massive impact, create radiant value in my life enterprise, investing in more relational capital than ever before? Because I know I'm a powerful connector. That alone, that little knowledge that you learn, those 2 words, will change everything that you do. And we don't need to change who you are. That's the amazing thing about it. I really think we crack something here once we figure out how to articulate it.
Well, maybe we just chop down the jungle path, and then somebody else comes and helps refine it. It's like, oh yeah, this is what you guys are trying to say. Like, oh yeah, thanks. So we're just like trudging along. But, hey man, it's fun, dude. I mean,
yeah, it's great. Love it.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere else but right here with you, doing what we're doing.
That's right. And in less than a month, we'll be in Actually, in exactly a month, I'll be flying back from Texas from our event. Yeah, can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
All right, everybody. Well, that's it for today. I got some other stuff going on. Hope you're doing fantastic. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate all the feedback and any comments you have. If you want to check it out, go to humblealpha.com/advisory or reach out to Marcus at marcus@humblealpha.com. All right, everybody, have a fantastic one. Remember, it's all about quality of life.
Live.
See you next time.